So before we do actually talk about another example, let's talk a little bit more about this plot and sort of the different types of things we can see in it, which also then might motivate another way we might want to look at our data. So some notes about this data. So if there is a lot of scattering, so for example, if looking at our plot, there was a much wider range. I mean, our data is all pretty close to each other, but if there was a much larger scattering, it might be a little bit harder to tell if the model fits the data as well. So if there was a lot of scattering, what we could do is so one could actually plot the mean number of customers. For a given range of town sizes. So for example, maybe I would plot the mean between 0 and 10,000 people, maybe between 10 and 20,000 people, etc. Now, why would I actually want to put a range on this instead of just using each individual value is odds are I'm not going to have a lot of the exact same town size. When we looked at those town sizes, they were pretty specific, right? So 3,251 people versus 3,256 people, those are different, so I really can't calculate an average. But if I looked at a range of values and calculated the average number of customers per day, and then maybe I could plot the means. If I did like 0 to 10,000, maybe plot the mean at 5,000. Between maybe the 10 and 20,000, plot the mean at the 15,000. So kind of like that midpoint to see if the data seems to maybe fit a little bit better. And why would that maybe be better? Well, so technically, Poisson models the mean response. That might give us a better idea of the real fit, since it really is modeling the mean and not the individual values. What also is nice that we can tell from this plot, well, what do I know as town size increases? So as the town size increases, what is happening to my predicted number of customers? Well, right, it seems to be going up. It's not a straight line, but it seems to have that increasing pattern. So a number of customers tends to go up. Right, so what else might we want to account? Well, what if the model really didn't seem to be fitting the data very well? Well, I might actually want to be modeling my data in a slightly different way, in a way that actually might allow me to look at more than just two variables. So maybe instead of looking at town size, I want to predict the number of customers, maybe based upon the median income level of that town. But I might still want to take into account town size in some way. So I could instead look at the number of customers per 10,000 in town size and then also model it based upon the median income. Because I would still expect that a smaller town wouldn't have as many customers as a larger town, but I might still be able to control for that variable in a slightly different way. And that's what we're going to talk about with our next examples, is we're going to be modeling for rate data. So I'm going to leave that for starting a new video here.